SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, this could be a bit of a hiccup for Verizon. Investors aren't really happy right now. And I'll tell you guys which ones we're talking about, which investor, and it has to do with Frontier. All right, so I've been following this since the initial news broke about Verizon acquiring Frontier Communications. And the most interesting part of that was Verizon sold their wireline assets to Frontier Communications way back when, several years ago. And now they're kind of buying it back. But the issue right now is that within the transaction, the way it's structured, it's a cash deal, right? It's $20 billion, which I believe offers a kind of two-part component to this, which half of it is the actual acquisition of the assets and the customers and all those things. The other half is the debt that Frontier has. Right now, currently, the snag, if there is one, is coming from the Frontier side, which is the Frontier investor, right? The folks that own the shares of the Frontier company trades publicly. So Verizon made an offer, I think it was like $38.50 per share to, basically buy out the shareholders. And at the time, I thought that was perfectly fine. I didn't really see an issue with it. I didn't anticipate this. When the news broke about Verizon purchasing Frontier, I think the stock jumped up for Frontier by like 35 or 40%, something crazy. Anyways, Verizon accounted for that within the structure of the deal. And now Frontier shareholders are going to vote on this in November, I think November 13th. And it sounds like some of the institutional investors within the shareholder community of Frontier, they're looking for more. They think that Frontier is actually valued higher. So this could potentially, I'm going to say could potentially, be a snag in this transaction. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not expect this. I didn't think that this would be an issue on any level, but I guess it is. And it's something that we're going to have to monitor closely. I don't think it's going to create a snag to the point where it's going to, terminate the deal or they're going to scrap it. But it could mean that Verizon actually has to pay more for Frontier Communications. In my estimation, and I could be wrong, and I'm not rich. I'm not these rich people and these analysts that know the money. I could be wrong, but I thought it was a fair price point for the transaction. I didn't really see this coming, but most people that own stuff tend to overvalue it as they try to sell it, and you get into these negotiations, and I think that might be what happens here. Maybe Verizon ends up having to pay a little bit more. I know they don't want to, putting on an additional $10 billion in debt, less than ideal, but it might be what it takes to get this job done. Anyways, what do you guys think is going to be the outcome? Do you guys think that Frontier is worth a little bit more than what Verizon is paying for it? Do you think that this will mean that Verizon will have to pay more for it? Or do you think that they should stick to their guns and say, hey, we're giving you fair value. We're not giving you a penny more. What do you think they should do? Sound off in the comment section below. The voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.